Hello friend, welcome back to MiniCooper Garage. I'm replacing the clutch on this 2006 Mini, including the new pressure plate. And of course, part of this job definitely should be replacing that throwout bearing, or as somebody call it, clutch release bearing. If you want to see how I will deal with it, stay with me in this video. And this generation Minis had two systems. You see one of them here, that large lever, or it had this fork here, right? So obviously I will show how it's done on this model right now. And it all starts with removing small retaining clip. It's right here. I hope you can see it. Yeah, it's up there. So this is where it all begins. And I need to push that clip inside, right? It just happened. It went in. And now I should be able, right, nicely to remove this entire part. You can see here the throwout bearing. This is the backing, right? All this needs to be nicely cleaned. Here you can see the whole part in the detail, right? Once again, the back side. And basically there are small little clips which I will need to push in, and the whole bearing will separate from this lever. That reminds me that little trick which every mechanic uses, right? If you are not sure how to take things apart, many times you will grab the brand new part which you are basically installing, and that will show you, right, how to, or give you a clue how to remove it. In this case, I just wanted to show you those small clips on the back of that throwout bearing. Back to the old part. So this is what I was talking about, right? You push it down, this clip. Excuse me, I needed to see how this one cleared. I will do the same with the one on the top, right? And I should be able to separate the parts. Now this will need a lot of cleaning, not to mention about the transmission. And not only the clutch, but also this bearing was on the way out. It was making a lot of noises. Listen to this. It's completely loose, right? There's huge play. I will show you the new one on contrary. But in no way I will blame it for the early, failure. These parts which I'm removing and reinstalling, I believe they are consistent looking as original BMW and new parts, and the car has approximately 130,000 miles, so it all lasted pretty long. You hear that, you hear nothing, right? There's no play, and I cannot spin it because it's full of grease, right? And it's not rotating by itself. This part, this fork, looks clean to me, right? So let's install the bearing itself. So usually I first compare the parts, right? The old bearing, new one. They seem to be absolutely identical. And that's for me the time to put it in. And you just go and match these grooves, right? This is extremely easy. I don't think somebody need a manual for this or anything, right? You just push it gently in, observing those clips, right? I can see they are nicely engaged there, and the whole bearing is in correct position. Now, using brake clean protective gloves, right? I brought this whole thing to the level when I feel that it's satisfactory for installing the new part. Also the note, I removed the old grease which was here on the shaft. All these sets are always coming with this high temperature grease, right? which you will be applying in the very small amount in this area. And obviously that grease, the purpose is to make that releasing, right, the bearing release easier, that there's not a tension, right, on these parts, and it nicely keeps sliding. You keep it only there because you don't want to get it anywhere around, and later on the clutch, that will be a huge problem. I will put also very, very tiny amount on this pivoting spot right here where the lever keeps basically resting. To install this whole thing, right, the lever with the bearing, it's basically opposite what I did just 20 minutes ago. So I will introduce it right simultaneously up here, but also watching that throwout bearing. To make it easy on myself, I will actually remove that retaining clip, right. I will first install it on this lever, right, it's easier, and I have it in the hand like this. Yeah, that's the way. Nice click, right, you heard it. And now I can start putting it on, right, and actually it will let me to push it. Did you hear that? Nicely clipped, and it's secured on that mount. So this is nicely lubricated, right? Bearing, it's nicely moving. And this is completely different story than just 30 minutes ago when we started this job. With this remaining lubricant that I will use for very, very slightly lubricating these splines, right? You are putting just, again, very small amount because you don't want to get it later on the clutch pack, but it's here, and that will help me to install the whole transmission back on the engine. And that was another short video which is part of this huge job of replacing clutch on this 2006 Mini. I'm trying to film as much as possible for you so you can later see it on this channel. So make sure you are subscribed that you don't miss any of that. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day, my friend.